What is this here, him crash? Is this crash out again?
With the lives and livelihoods of Palestinians. That, to me... Didn't bro shock his dog? I shocked your mother's pussy last night with my penis. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I've never come so hard in my life. Yeah, she's breaking up with your dad now. You're getting a divorce. I'm your father now. I'll fuck your dad too. Anyway. Pride Month. Where was I? With the lives and livelihoods of Palestinians.
Wow. That's really something special. The worst part is actually not what he said. It's him hitting the soundboard, the electric soundboard.
Shock his dog. I shocked your mother's pussy last night with my penis. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
You see, you can watch, look at him look down. He's looking down to make sure his hand is on the right button.
Leave it.
It's actually so cringe. Oh my God. He's that kid in high school that thought it was funny and smart. That's why no one hung out with him. Yeah, I guess so. I've never seen a more miserable millionaire. And is this...
I know it's really easy to just go on Twitter and be like, then look to these unbelievably powerful forces and why they are so aggressively trying to thwart this movement. Okay? I know it's really easy to just go on Twitter and be like, this guy is a sheepdog for the neoliberal Zionist Democratic Party. He just wants to take all this revolutionary potential of the masses and like feed it back in the Democratic Party. But like, there's a reason why they're not going after hammer and sickle Twitter users, and they're going after my bitch ass, okay? My Democratic Party sheepdog ass is getting ass fucked on a daily fucking basis by numerous governments. Why the fuck do you think they're not coming after you? Why? Why is it my ass that's getting fucking gaped? Why? I've been doing this shit for a decade. And
why am I getting gaped?
Until I decided to become more active.
Why is this happening to me?
In the electoral route a little bit and actually put a couple fucking numbers on the leaderboard. Ain't nobody was gaping my ass. And now it's gaped. Why do you think that's the case? Why are they not yelling at you? You got the radical point. Jesus. You're posting about Yahya Sinwar all day. Why are they not treating you in the same way?
Jesus. Jesus. Oh my God.
I don't even got a problem with that posting too. And yet you yell at me.
I saw this. I did. Okay. I thought so.
Wake
I wasn't
the fuck
sure.
up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there it is, guys. Build 100 bridges and you shock one dog. You're not a bridge builder. You're a dog shocker. That's right.
Whether we like to admit it or not, even if amongst normies, amongst the normie sphere, okay? Amongst the normie sphere, politics is very different than the internet, specifically YouTube commentary. There are many different pockets of very woke places online. You know, you got TikTok. There's a woke slant there, maybe even hyper woke at times.
Yeah, because it's...
But a lot of the commentaries...
Here's one of the really easy ways to tell. If something is woke, it's because it's being censored heavily and it's moderated by people that have to enforce those viewpoints. Not being woke is when it's not moderated. I wonder why that is.
Get their notes from Twitter and Reddit. And unfortunately, Reddit is very malleable and easy to brigade. And Twitter...
Imagine thinking Reddit is not going to be on your side. That's crazy.
Twitter is a neo-Nazi shithole. This reflects the
Twitter isn't a neo-Nazi shithole. If he really thought that, he wouldn't use Twitter. He knows that it's not.
Output of the commentary sphere altogether. Okay? So the commentary sphere has found itself in this like weird, edgy centrist to right-wing attitude on a lot of issues. And therefore, people like myself are persona non grata. I am literally the #1 op of virtually every drama tuber.
And I'm sure that this isn't your fault. Is it Israel's fault? Is it my fault? Whose fault is it that nobody likes you? Because it's certainly not yours.
Virtually every content creator on the commentary sphere has presented me as literally the worst fucking person. Okay? They talk about me more than they talk about Donald Trump, for example. They talk about me more than they talk about the far-right figure.
Why would they talk about Donald Trump? These are commentary channels about internet creators, not the president. Why would they talk about Trump to begin with? This is far right. Let me see this.
They talk about Donald Trump, for example. They talk about me more than they talk about the far-right figures, for example. Or even if they do talk about far-right figures, what do they always say? Oh, you know, this guy Asmongold, he fucked up. Rarely ever do they criticize Asmongold, but when they...
Because there's nothing to criticize and I'm always right. It's pretty obvious why. Actually, they're not criticizing me. It's because everything I say is accurate and true. And so people that see that and they make a video about it, it will be seen as they'll realize that I'm right. The only reason why Hassan's viewpoints are acceptable is because they're protected. In every single free speech environment, Hassan is disliked. The only spaces where Hassan can exist and have positive feedback are spaces where they are curated and effectively a reservation. Places like, for example, pre-Elon Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. These environments are engineered to protect your ideology. That's the reason why. YouTube isn't as much. The safe spaces? Yes, they're safe spaces.
They'll say, well, Hassan and Asmongold are two sides of the same coin. Now, for adults with a functioning brain, they know that that's fucking ridiculous, right?
It
totally
is.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Hassan is a communist terrorist supporter, and I'm an American. That's the difference. Like, so yeah, I mean, I don't think that, yeah, that's not true at all.
This is what I studied. This is what I went to college for. This is what I do professionally. And not only do I do this professionally, but I also, you know, am literally about to go and talk to two congressional candidates, right? At the same time. So
this is, again, like, this is, I think, the reason why a lot of people are pulling out of events with him, is that they're beginning to realize that Hassan's involvement with politics is strictly around building his own ego. It's strictly around making his presence online more impactful and more important. He's attaching himself to these causes and these events. I'm sure that he believes in them to an extent, right? But the prime driving factor is so he can attach himself to different events and then claim victory or, you know, basically shark some clout out of it. That's about it.
There is no parity there. There is no equivalence there. Not even a moral equivalence, no political equivalence whatsoever. But from the perspective of even the most woke adjacent commentary content creators, they do look for a parity there. The reason for why is
probably because they don't support terrorism. They don't support, like, animal abuse. A lot of people don't support animal abuse, terrorism, and, communism. And I think that that's probably more important than, like, you saying that, you know, like, oh, like, free Palestine or something. It's not equivalent.
Because the attitude...
But I do think that he's right, that he and I are not equivalent. Hassan and Nick are the same. I would say Nick is probably the alternative to Hassan. Like, Hassan is basically Nick Fuentes, but left-wing. That's really about it. Because, like, I mean, Nick is like I do a lot of things that aren't just politics. Like, I talk about gaming stuff. I do other random bullshit. I'm making, you know, like, Kool-Aid pineapple stuff. I do a lot of other random stuff. Like, Hassan focuses pretty much exclusively on politics, and so does Nick.
in this sphere is unbelievably
Yeah, true.
slanted to the fucking far right.
Right. It's the far right. It's never the right. It's always the far right. Uh-oh. Okay, this might be a good crash out. We'll see.
Schools never do this kind of thing. Venues never do this kind of thing for Ben Shapiro. They never do this kind of thing for Charlie Kirk.
What?
It only goes in one direction.
Oh my God.
I find that very odd. I find that very strange.
Like, how crazy do you have to be like, stuff like this doesn't happen to like Charlie Kirk. He never got any pushback. Like, Lil Bro got assassinated. Holy shit. Lil Bro got murked. We have verbs now that we use in the United States of America to describe people getting assassinated as a result of his killing. Charlie Kirk never had to deal with this shit.
It's so stupid.
He's
That's
dead.
exactly what I said.
That guy got killed, bro.
Yeah, like Milo Yiannopoulos, like people who are rabble-rousers and firebrands.
Milo got banned from like 30 different countries, kicked out of how many fucking colleges, and is so fucking canceled. Literally nobody in the entire political world wants to have anything to fucking do with except for sometimes Kanye West when he's off his meds. What are you talking about?
When he's right, he's right. That's exactly what I said.
His audience is so politically retarded. They don't know anything about what's going on. Even in the online political world, they don't know anything. That's crazy. I can understand maybe being too online and not knowing real politics, but not even in the online political world, they have no idea what's going on. What the fuck?
Those people never got their venues canceled.
Like, what are you talking about? These are like some of the biggest political skills. Maybe he just didn't know because Lil Bro was too busy talking about raping women and hating fucking trans people on frat bro tips or whatever. Well, he was part of his rape frat and going to fucking brothels or whatever and bragging about it. What is he talking about? It's like this is the most retarded political anything. I don't even want to call it analysis. Jesus.
Chuds.
There was never an instance where his venues were canceled. And
oh my, bro. Like, just kill me. Whatever, bro. The reason why he probably doesn't know is he wasn't there because I was the one in the trenches fighting at this time. I was the one who was debating all these people, who was paving out a pathway for Lil Hassan to come in and waddle his fat fucking gross Turkish ass up into the area that I had carved.
This is really something special, man. It really is.
So that he could work politically unimpeded by the chuds that I had slain.
That's
So
crazy.
Hassan's on the phone. He's getting this solved. He's texting Dan Clancy. Dan,
what the fuck?
I need you to fix this for me, Dan.
I wish I had. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I wish I had more. I wish I had more allies amongst liberals.
Actual degenerate fuck. He's an actual degenerate fuck. And the fact that there are still libcucks out there that give him the fucking benefit of the doubt drives me crazy. Oh my God. It actually drives me insane how much of a duplicitous backstabbing fucking snake this piece of shit.
This is not exactly what I said, but
It is. Holy fuck. He's so subhuman. He's so subhuman.
Their power because they don't want to stop doing business as usual.
Here's my thing, okay? I would say that we should just come together and support him more. But the problem is that he was on Twitch. He knows that on Twitch there's a lot of children. He was mass soliciting nudes from his audience. Undoubtedly, some of the people that sent him nudes were underage, and he was showing that off to friends around him. That's just beyond the pale to me. That's just disgusting, sexually abhorrent behavior. I don't know.
I don't know if that happened. I've no comment.
I don't know how anybody can get behind that. That's crazy to me, you know?
Politics. I mean, you shit talk them all the time. No, I'm not talking about like fucking establishment Democrats.
True! Who is that?
And he's right. He's right. Because it's funny how even Destiny and I disagree on a lot of things, but even I understand and I recognize, and I think Destiny understands that both of us, I think, realize that Hassan is an invasive species. He is. He is an invasive species. He's looking to try to co-opt and take over the Liberal Democrat Party and replace or hold hostage American issues on identity issues over the Middle East. That's it. That's what's going on.
Ooh, and it's a girly evil account. Uh-oh. True.
Because I'm not talking about like...
I'm not talking about any lib that you might be thinking of. I'm talking about like the magical other libs that you have no idea who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is that Coke? Woo!
He's going to look at the Palestine fucking boycott list, and he's going to have Coke on there.
Is he sipping Coke?
That he's gonna pull up the video of the girl that got mad at him. I saw this video yesterday. Look who it is. Oh man, look who it is. That's crazy. Well. Okay. Listen to this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch me now.
Thanks so much. What you doing?
I'm sorry, I forgot to say.
What a fucking freak,
You
dude.
need to stop drinking Coke Zero on stream.
Why?
It's boycott.
Wait, is it?
You're preaching pro-Palestine and you're drinking all this boycott stuff. Please,
Thank you.
Hassan, at least pretend. Do it off stream. Please.
Okay, I'll put it in.
pretend.
I'll put it in a glass. Is Pepsi okay?
No.
No soda. I didn't know it was like that.
I'm trying to stop it. These are now.
He's so cool.
What a fucking freak, dude. What a fucking freak who does this. Can't even pretend. I know.
Cool, dude. He's so unbothered. Because at the end of the day,
He is unbothered because he doesn't really care. He's just like, she's just a psycho, weird retard. Somebody like that should be locked up in a mental institution. What are we doing? What the fuck was that? Somebody that shouldn't be in a Western country. That's who it was. They'd be deported. They send him out. Get him the fuck out of here.
this is all of his politics behind the scenes. He doesn't give a fuck about any of this, obviously.
Damn.
That's why he pours it in a glass 1st. Good job. Really never been a thing in the United States of
Wait,
America.
wait. He actually...
All of his politics behind the scenes. He doesn't give a fuck about any of this, obviously. That's why he pours it in a glass 1st.
That's crazy.
Good job. Really never been a thing in the United States of America. That very true. Astute analysis there, Hassan Piker. That's never been a thing that conservatives have complained about literally for fucking ever. Gee, or we don't have to go that far back. We can just go through the whole COVID period where they were complaining about getting canceled and censored and banned from all the platforms.
No, it's only him that's ever been canceled. He's the only person that's ever been canceled or censored.
The most annoying thing is that this guy still hasn't even had anything actually bad happen to him. This guy has never been banned or demonetized from a single fucking platform in his entire life, and he's crying this much.
I wonder, what do you think the probability is that if Hassan got banned, if Trump won the third term? If Trump won a third term, do you think that they would ban Hassan? I think that would basically be about it, right? That would be the end. There will be no third term. Okay. For his sake, I hope so. And again, it is so fucking embarrassing to see this stuff. What is this here? And then this is him, of course, attacking. Let me see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at. That shocked his dog. Oh my God. And okay, let me go. Oh, this is another one. All right, one more. Here we go.
Yeah, every time Idos has apologized, he's been really careful to point out the tweeting question over and over, and Ethan still refuses to sue CatDany. Yeah. It is Israel behavior. It is. It is literally, it is. Which is really...
It's Israel behavior. What the fuck does Ethan have to do with... What is... A lawsuit is Israel behavior? I'm sorry, but if I said is asking for a discount Israel behavior, is interest Israel behavior, is clipping coins Israel behavior, just say it. Just say it. It's obvious what you're saying. Just do it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. What is this here? This is me. He's calling me out. Uh-oh. Here we go. What is this? He's mad about me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Somebody's upset. Somebody's having a bad day.
A couple Asmongold takes that I wanted to look at. One was he has now decided.
Yeah.
On the one hand, he's like Nick Fuentes is based, right?
Right.
And that he's a funnel for Nick Fuentes. On the other hand, he keeps telling his audience that this Israel stuff is boring and silly, and no one should talk about it, and no one should consider it.
Nick said that too. He didn't say that as unequivocally as I did, but he inferred that as well.
I don't think he's intelligent enough to recognize what he's doing. So I
It's
suspect that he's just seeing on his timeline, like the people that he cribs, the people that he fucking steals the talking points of, that they're also trying to navigate this space where they're like, yo, don't talk about Israel anymore, you know? Asmongold calls Hassan an invasive species infecting the Democrat
Uh-oh. Somebody's about to have a bad day.
Party. You are not a Democrat. You are not helpful to the Democrats. You want to infect the Democrat policy with Middle Eastern identity politics.
This is correct. You are not a Democrat. You are not helpful to the Democrats. You want to infect Democrat policy.
Yeah, with with divisive issues like that the overwhelming majority of people agree on, which is let's not give money to Israel any longer. Let's fix our fucking potholes at home. When Donald Trump says this shit, everybody loves it. This guy loved talking about it when Donald Trump was saying it, but when I say it,
what is he talking about?
I'm saying it Islamic style, I guess.
Well, yeah, whenever you're saying it on the basis of it being in the best interest of Islamic terrorists, then yeah, it's a huge problem. That's the whole point. Yeah, exactly. Duh. Of course.
You are the enemy from within, he says.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. What am I saying? I'm saying,
yes.
Hey, wouldn't it be nice if we had nicer things? We have the money for it. Why is it going to fucking Israel? Why is it going to endless?
But here's the thing, is that he can always say, like, this is the problem, is that Hassan locks all of these other things behind the approval of his Middle Eastern foreign policy positions. So, like, for example, he can't just put that aside and work towards a greater good for the American people and ignore these Middle Eastern policies. These Middle Eastern policies are the tail wagging the dog. So basically, that's the reason why you didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Like, at the end of the day, Kamala Harris wouldn't have done a lot of the things that Donald Trump did. She certainly wouldn't have started a war with Iran. I don't think that's what would have happened. So if you're talking about a harm reduction inside of your own ideological principles, Kamala Harris would be a just astronomically better advantage than Donald Trump. But the one difference is that she didn't capitulate enough to where your identity politics are playing into Middle Eastern politics and Palestine and Gaza and Israel and all of this bullshit. And it was more important for you to stand firm on that issue than to acquiesce and then go in the best interest of the American people and fix the potholes, have better health care, have better controls and better appropriation for, let's say, homeless people or, immigrants or illegal immigrants. Like, all of these things were things that you sacrificed because there was not a definitive position on Israel. So don't ever act like you just care about potholes or anything like that. You use that as a tool, as basically like a carrot and a stick to try to get people to come onto your side. But what you're really trying to do is you're trying to get them to agree with your Middle Eastern policy positions. That's the primary goal. And that, I feel like this is very evident, right? Am I crazy for saying this? I don't think this is insane to say.
Wars overseas. It's not just in the fucking Middle East, in Latin America too. Mm-hmm. Why are we doing all this?
Why? Because Maduro was complicit and okay with having, drugs sent over to America, and he was working with the cartel. That's the reason why. I mean, obviously. Duh. Like, why would you want fentanyl coming into the country?
Shit. It's for a small group of people that are profiting off of this death and destruction, but it's not good for the average American.
Is fentanyl good for the average American? Of course it's not. That's why it's important to secure the border and make sure other people don't get through and shut down foreign leaders that are allowing the fentanyl to be mass produced in their country and then shipped over to America. That's not good for average people either. And even the second order effects of that are when people go on fentanyl and they OD or they have some kind of medical emergency, that raises the costs and and also the pressure and the stress on hospitals and medical services. If you're dealing all the time with a bunch of like fent zombies all the time, then you don't have any time to deal with people that are pregnant, or you don't have any time to deal with people that are breaking their legs. Obviously, you have time. You're going to be able to do this. But like every time that I went to the emergency room, they kept saying, and this is like over and over and over, this is the busiest it's ever been. This is the busiest it's ever been. It's always the busiest it's ever been. I think that there's a problem there. I do. I think there's a huge problem. So not only does it have the primary negative effect of directly impacting and killing American citizens, but it also has the secondary negative impact of putting stress on the entire medical system. And that's not even to count like the criminal justice system and other forms of, destruction as well, and the AOE effects on, for example, the families. So yeah, absolutely, it was the right decision. What are we talking about?
Can we please get fucking healthcare? They're trying to.
Well, what do you think? What do you think happens when you bring in a bunch of illegal aliens that don't have a high skill set to become net contributors to the welfare systems? You can't have. This is the paradox of Hassan's ideology. It's that you want large scale immigration and migration into the country, and you also want to have an increase in the social services in the country. You have to pick one or the other. If you want Ellis Islands level 1800 style U.S. American immigration, it's the land of freedom and opportunity, everybody can come here, then you can't have at the same time a strong social safety net that supports all of those people. The money just doesn't exist. So I don't know why you would even say this. I want free healthcare too. I want subsidized healthcare. I want universal healthcare, but I want it for American citizens. I don't want it to a bunch of foreigners that are coming over here and having kids for anchor babies so they can take advantage of our systems. At a certain point, if you add enough of those people in there, even if your system is very strong, at a certain point that system breaks because there are just simply 7 billion people in the world, and you will run out of resources to allocate to them. And if you go to an emergency room in a big city downtown, you will see this manifest in reality at this very moment.
They're trying to turn this into it's brown coded to care about Israel's profound level of control over American.
Yeah, it absolutely is not brown coded, but there's absolutely a strain of Muslim Islamic politics that is basically completely against Israel for reasons that have nothing to do with AIPAC. There are people in the world that hate Israel because it's run full of Jews. And a lot of those people, let's say, are in, third world countries. And whenever I find myself on the same side as an illiterate person from some random third world country, then yeah, I'm going to ask myself, is this really America first? Just because you're siding against Israel doesn't mean that you're siding with America. There's not two sides to this. It's multifaceted. And you're creating a dichotomy that doesn't exist. You can be anti-Israel and not want Israel's influence in the country to exist, while at the same time also rebuke the other foreign influences like the ones that you promote. It's obvious.
Foreign policy, that's a brownoid thing.
I've never said that.
We should be servile to the needs of Israel. That's what the real whites care about. Is that the argument that you're making?
Nobody's saying this.
It's brown coded to say, hey,
he's reframing me saying that there is Muslim identity politics that he's pushing, which is absolutely what's happening. And he's reframing that to it being brown coded. There's people in South America that have brown skin. People in Africa have brown skin. There's plenty of people in the world that people in Indonesia have brown skin. Most people in the world, I would say, probably have brown skin. This is so stupid, and you're trying to reframe an ideological religion as an ethnic group or a large-scale, skin color in order to argue against my point. And to try to, and what he's doing is he's trying to create the moral upper hand by implying that I am racist. He's not actually addressing any of these points. He's just basically making a ad absurdum. Oh, wow, he's this crazy, stupid racist that wants Israel to make us do everything that they want. That's what he's doing. It's embarrassing.
Maybe America should get to dictate what Israel does and doesn't do, because America is the fucking superpower in this equation.
I agree with that. I think you're right. You were an invasive species into the liberal and Democrat movement and party.
You're gonna
You
have
seek
to.
to
Yeah, you're mad.
It's so funny that Asmongold is saying this
Right.
when he is literally eating Donald Trump's dick and balls on a daily fucking basis. And there are
What
liberals
does this have to do with anything? Like, this is just what?
out there who will hear him say this and go, hey, this fucking neo-Nazi.
You have a bunch of clips saying that you hate liberals. Why are you even arguing this? Why are you arguing against yourself? You've said this yourself. There have been multiple clips that you said you hate Democrats, you hate liberals. Like, why is this even a conversation?
that we supposedly despise is actually really cooking up a solid take here. Guy who fucking despises your movement turns around and tells you what's best for your movement. That he
Well, exactly, right? And to be fair, like, his understanding of this is what I was discussing yesterday. I think he's right about that, to identify that, I'm not necessarily an ally, so, you shouldn't take my advice necessarily. But I'm not giving you the advice, I'm giving Democrats the advice, because I'd rather be ruled over by an American Democrat than a foreign socialist or a foreign communist that's cosplaying as a dictator. Literally. I'd much rather be ruled over by a American Democrat that has stupid opinions than a fucking foreigner that is, cosplaying as a mass murderer dictator. And it's not even remotely close.
despises. Ultra right-wing content creator with 95% extremist right-wing audience is for sure worried about the Democratic Party. Who buys this?
Well, I do. I do worry about the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party used to be the party of the worker. It used to be the party of the people. It used to be the party of the downtrodden and the people who need to have, a leg up in society. The people that were disenfranchised, the people that were taken advantage of, the people that were, left behind. And that has been co-opted and reframed by identity politics vultures and also foreigners that are trying to subvert democratic interests to fulfill their foreign desires. And I think that this is the big problem, and it's been infected with identity politics, and it began after Occupy Wall Street, and I think that the fever pitch really was in 2020, 2021. It's receding now, but there are so many vestiges of it, like people like Hassan that have built an entire career off of using the most emotionally charged language, rhetoric, and topics possible to create a moral mandate that everybody has to listen to them about their foreign opinions. Opinions on foreign issues is a better way to say it, actually.
Fucking sex pest in his audience, dude. That's who.
What?
They're like, hey, this fucking
Asmongold is a secret DDGer? Well, yeah, because I view Destiny as an American. I don't agree with Destiny on a lot of things. I think that he's an idiot with a lot of things. But Destiny is an American. That's the difference.
rabid transphobe who literally says the most unhinged anti-immigrant
Who's transphobic?
shit, who is the biggest dick rider of Donald Trump.
Oh, he's talking about me. I'm transphobic. Why? Because I don't want to have, like, kids transition? What? Why?
Actually really cooked with this. Okay? He really cooked with this take.
Well, I mean, I'm not wrong, though, right? Am I? Am I wrong? I don't think so.
He's right. But once again, he'll never have this conversation with me personally. He can't do it because he's fucking terrified.
I don't like debating. I'd rather just be able to pause and make my whole point.
Because he knows.
I'm addressing your points right now. I'm addressing your points. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm responding to it. If this is not satisfactory to you, then that's not my problem.
Knows that if we were to have a one-on-one conversation
Right.
on camera, he would look like a fucking idiot because he
good
is
for
a
him.
fucking idiot. And his audience would probably...
Well, if that's the case, so I don't understand how let's assume that that's true. Why would this is basically, so now you're saying that I should take your advice on what would be in your best interest, but then just a minute ago, you criticized me for trying to give you advice because it would be in my best interest. Couldn't you just reverse the same logic right back onto what you're saying? Why would I ever take your advice for what I think that, like, why would I ever follow what you think I should do when you're trying to subvert what I'm thinking? It doesn't even make sense. It's literally what you argued against 30 seconds ago.
Turn on him after that conversation. They would go, okay, maybe you didn't know what the hell you were talking about. So he has to keep making it seem like he's farming drama, when in fact, he's just a terrified little right-wing propagandist actively telling his audience that things are going to be fine, that Trump is great, that you shouldn't worry about Israel's level of control over American foreign policy and even American domestic policy.
I don't think that's the only issue.
He's just trying to tell him a little lullaby, right? Go back to sleep, little one. Don't worry. Remember, it's actually the undocumented migrants that are stealing from you. It's actually...
Well, yeah, they are stealing. They are. It's true. You're right. Absolutely they are. Of course they are. That's the problem. Yes?
the homeless people that are fucking you over. It's actually...
It is. When there's a homeless person that's in front of a CVS that's yelling at you or causing problems, or the police need to go, and this is the issue, is that Hassan is not giving any credibility to the second order effects of the law enforcement and all of the other government apparatuses that have to exist in order to protect you from these people. So basically, whenever you have a homeless person that's causing problems, now you have a police presence that needs to be put forward to deal with this person. And you can't just, by the way, give a homeless person a house. I can show you a million videos of a bunch of crackhead, drug addicts, crazy homeless people that they gave houses to, and they started knocking holes in the walls, bashing out the lights, and acting like monkeys. So the entire premise of this is built off of a lie, and it's a multifaceted lie. The first basis of the lie is that these people are just like you and me, and that those people, you know, they just missed their opportunity, or they didn't have their chance to be more popular, or, you know, like get a job or something. And so there's some sort of societal failure that is not their fault, is why they're in that position. The second level of that is that these people are not costing us a lot of money. Now, whenever you have one of these homeless people that's on a first name basis with the police officers, it's because the police have probably arrested and have been micromanaging this person for the last 15 years. This is just what happens. I mean, I'm in Austin, you're in LA, you probably notice the same people in the same places causing the same problems. This is the equivalent of millions of dollars that is invested over the years in trying to micromanage crackheads, fent zombies, and retards. And what really should be happening is they need to be put in either 3 different places: jail, rehab, or mental institutions, because they make the public unsafe. They do, and they're dangerous. There's a much higher probability that a homeless person is going to steal your bike than Elon Musk. That's just the way it is.
The transgender. That's it. Okay.
Well, then acquiesce. If it's not such an important issue and you want to make an appeal to triviality, then why not meet people like me in the middle and say, okay, maybe having them compete in women's sports is bad. Maybe having them transition and do puberty blockers before 18 is bad, but you're unwilling to do that because you're talking past the sale. You're assuming that your moral positions are accurate while at the same time not wanting to compromise anything else, but then saying that the positions themselves are unimportant. If they were so unimportant, then you would have no problem compromising on them. I mean, this is, oh my God.
Hey, Donald Trump eradicated trans athletes. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump literally made it illegal to be trans and an athlete in the NCAA.
Good. Yeah, good.
Did your life get better? That was literally...
It was somebody's did. And it was also a better thing. It was an improvement on a system. And it was a system that was built on a lie. A lie that men and women are biologically the same. They're not biologically the same. It's that simple. There are a lot of things that do not directly affect me. Like, I'll give you an example. Palestine. What happens in Gaza doesn't directly affect me. It has nothing to do with me. If Israel blows up people in Gaza, my life does not improve or get worse or change really in any way. But you constantly want people to think about this foreign issue and to vote based off of it. So let's not make appeals to triviality when you've built your entire identity on a crisis across the world. I mean, this is...
a year ago. That was 2 years ago. Did your life get better since then? Did you experience any fucking material improvements in your life? No, of course you didn't. Is that fixing the fucking gas prices? Giving Israel more money, is that going to fix your gas prices?
If you got rid of the Iranian government and you had a regime change in Iran, the same way that we had one in Venezuela, I think that absolutely it would lower the gas prices. Just because something isn't happening immediately doesn't mean that something isn't happening. I think that it's obviously an advantage that we now have a embassy in Caracas. It's obviously an advantage that we're able to do business with Venezuela now. This is clearly a good thing. Venezuela is one of the biggest oil providers in the world. If Iran was able to do the same thing, we would be in a better and more advantageous position, not only geopolitically with their connection to Russia and providing Russia with drones that they use to bomb Ukrainians, but on top of that, just from our own domestic ways, because now we're able to trade more oil, which means that there's more oil in the market, and obviously that would lower the price. So, duh. Like, something's not going to happen instantaneously.
Giving Israel more money, is that going to actually improve inflation? Have things gotten better in that?
Has your life gotten better since Gaza got leveled? The answer actually is yes, because you've built your entire career talking about it. Does that mean that it's good that they got bombed? No. This is stupid logic.
That process, on that timeline, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, have things gotten better? Has ICE improved your lives? Elon Musk is a fucking...
Removing every single illegal alien will have no impact on me because you, as I am, are filthy rich. We are filthy rich, and we will never have to experience any of the negative effects of illegal immigration or any of the knock-on effects that would kind of compound onto that. For example, like I was saying, stress on emergency rooms. We don't have to deal with these problems, but working-class Americans do have to deal with these problems. So, no, it will not directly affect me because I'm fortunate enough to have enough money to where it doesn't have to. But that doesn't mean that it won't directly affect a lot of other people, and in the way that it does directly affect them, I can understand and have empathy for, which is why I want to improve their situation and make it to where they don't have to compete with people that are playing under the table for $5 an hour whenever the job should be paying $50. So yeah, I think absolutely.
Trillionaire, what good did that do for you?
Well, Elon provided a platform for me to disagree with these narratives that was completely controlled by people like you and you yourself for years on Twitter. You had a complete mainstream monopoly on that. When Elon bought Twitter, it broke the dam and that monopoly was destroyed. Elon has been a massive bastion and has allowed X to be a massive bastion for freedom of speech inside of the West. I think that it's allowed not only America to be able to talk about difficult issues, but it's also now allowing Britain and Europeans to talk about difficult issues in their countries as well. So Elon Musk has directly and specifically improved my life because he has allowed the scope and the Overton window of what's discussable politically to shift to a more reasonable perspective that more likely represents my views. So Elon has directly benefited me.
He is basically trying to present Benjamin Netanyahu defying Trump's orders as base to his audience.
Well, no, because it's a means to an end. I don't care. Like, I want Israel to, whenever we say jump, I want Israel to say how high. It is more important to me that Israel is obedient to Donald Trump and to the United States than Israel blowing up Hezbollah. But Hezbollah being blown up is also an important goal. And I don't care whether it's Israel, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. Obviously, they're not going to do it. But theoretically, whether it's the EU doing it, it doesn't matter who's doing it. This has nothing to do with Israel. Israel is just simply the tool that's being used. The job still needs to get fixed.
When in fact, it's literally spoiling the fucking ceasefire deal that Trump put together. So is
I don't know. I mean, like, haven't they broken the ceasefire 3 or 4 other times by laying more mines in the Strait of Hormuz? I think the real problem is the IRGC is completely disconnected, and they're not operating under one singular type of leadership, and that's by design. So they're operating after, like, 6 or 1 year old, like, planning that they've had. Like, and that's what they've even said this, right? They wanted to create a, what was the term that people were using? A operational mosaic, where you had different groups that were operating under the same rules, kind of like a good parallel to this, kind of, I think what they were trying to do is like the dead hand, right? The dead hand in Soviet Union was that even if, like, Russia was destroyed, all of the nuclear bombs would still go off and still hit America because there was a plan in place ahead of time as a contingency. So they're trying to do the same thing. That's obviously what they're doing. So, I mean, I feel like Iran has broken the ceasefire too.
highest priority here is to defend Israel.
Well, that was embarrassing. Jesus. I don't know how people watch that. Wow. This is the guy saying you're getting paid by the big Yahoo? Uh-oh, here we go. Imagine being in Iran with no internet. You can't leave the house and your only form of entertainment is Hassan reruns on state TV. See, guys, I think they need to be charged in The Hague for cruel and unusual punishment, and really, I mean, some kind of, international law of, like, abuse towards their people. This is like, I mean, this should be a war crime, right? I mean, you have to listen to this shit. They have to, oh my God, I can't even imagine that. Crimes against humanity. Yeah, there you go. Looks like hell on earth is real. It sure is. But anyway, yeah, and also, by the way, you can see that I will address every point that he makes. It's not a big deal. I have no problem talking about it. It's not an issue. And I think that, by the way, the biggest person that disagrees with me that Hassan hates Democrats is Hassan. There are more clips of Hassan saying that he hates Democrats than me saying that I hate Democrats and liberals. So I don't want to hear this. It's just total bullshit.
My ass that's getting fucking gaped. Why? I've been doing this shit for a decade.
Gaped?
And until recently, until I decided to become more active in this part, in the electoral route a little bit, and actually put a couple fucking numbers on the leaderboard, ain't nobody was gaping my ass. And now it's gaped.